Consciousness is the greatest need of the world, of the society. And there is no limit to how many outposts or centers we can have. Because as and when temples become more situated in urban areas, it is so crowded and so time consuming to go from one part of the city to another part of the city. So it makes sense to have small setups everywhere to cater to the needs of devotees and people in different parts of the city, and Pune has become very big now. So very nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is endlessly expanding. There is no limit. And this is only the beginning. It is the movement for the next 10,000 years. Now after 10,000 years, Kali Yuga will come in full force. This is the golden age. And still there are so many problems. So you can imagine what will happen when Kali Yuga comes in full force. In Kali Yuga, really, it is the age when people are most unqualified and most unfortunate. And the paradox, the irony, the contradiction is that Krishna has given the easiest path to attain the highest destination, which was not possible even in the early ages. So we all know from Srimad Bhagavatam, Raya Payusha Satya, Kalovasmi Vipejana, Manda Sumanda Matalo, Manda Bhagyahi Upanduraha. So, in this age of Kali, mostly people have very short lives, Alpa Ayusha. People are of short lifespan. Kalau Asmin Jana. So, most of the people in this age of Kali have very short lifespan. Actually, in this age, we must say that even if somebody has a long life, it is somewhat unfortunate because the quality of life is so bad. The older you get, and you have to be dependent on someone, and the body is so much trouble. So in this day and age, to become very old also is not an easy task. Better to leave before you reach that stage of physical collapse. So mostly people are of short lifespan. Manda means they are slow. Slow for everything except material advancement. For anything to do with spiritual life, they are Manda. Manda is very slow. You may have heard some terms in your health. Mandagni, they say. If your digestion is poor, the Ayurvedic doctors will say you have Mandagni. Manda Agni. The digestive fire is Manda, very weak, very slowly burning. Or sometimes you may hear a businessman saying, Bazaar mein mandi hai. I wonder if you are a businessman. Mandi means it is going very slow. So this Kali Yuga, everybody is going slow for spiritual life. No interest. Sumanda Matalo. Mandamati. The Buddhi is also Sumanda. Not just Manda, it is Suman. Very much Manda. The intelligence is very slow when it comes to picking up spiritual topics. For material things, they are very sharp. They can pick up something. Maybe they are also sometimes they are dull. But spiritual matters, all the more dull. Buddhi just doesn't come. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to always give the blessing, Krishna Madhurastu. That was his blessing. That was the ideal benediction that anyone can ask. Mati means intelligence, consciousness, inclination. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's perfect blessing to anyone was, may your mind be inclined towards Krishna. May your intelligence rest and be vested in Krishna. May your consciousness be fully absorbed in Krishna. That is Krishnamati. Where do you come across this phrase Krishnamati? Anywhere? In Bhagavatam, where is very famous verse? Matirna Krishna Bharata Satova Mitho Vipadye Veharatana Adanta Gopil Vishatam Tamastam Punah Punascharvita Chaparanam. Mati no Krishna. So some people, their mati, it doesn't get absorbed in Krishna. Bharata Satova, either by somebody else's efforts or by his own efforts, mitho, vipati, or by a combination of both. So in this day and age, especially, but in general in the material world, whether by one's own efforts or by somebody else's efforts to make one Krishna conscious, or by a combination of both, that Krishnamati, it doesn't come. Very rare, very difficult to find that. Mati na Krishna parata satova mrito vipati. Why doesn't it come? Griha vratana. Because they are griha vratas. They have made a vrata. They have made a vow. That, what is that vow? Griha. Griha vrata doesn't necessarily mean only householders. Anybody who is in grihastha life is not a griha vrata. And as you know very well, there are two types of those living in family life. One is called a griha nidhi, and the other is called grihastha. So this griha nidhi is the same as griha vrata. One whose consciousness does not go beyond the home and the family. Griha kshetra sutaka vittai janasya mohuyam aham mamiti. So griha kshetra sutta apta vittai. Griha means house. Apta is relatives. Sutta is children. Vitta is wealth. Kshetra is your land, your property, your source of livelihood. So, Griha Nidhi is one who is totally absorbed only in this. That person does not have any consciousness or any inclination for anything beyond this. I think this is the all in all. This is everything for me. So that is Griha Vratana, Griha Nidhi, etc. Whereas Grihastha is one who is situated in the Griha, but is taking ashraya of Krishna, Grihastha ashram. So that family, that home is an ashram. An ashram is a holy place. So therefore in that verse of Bhagavatam when it says that the people are Griha Vratana, Vratana refers to those kind of people who are totally absorbed in the world. Adanta Gopi Vishatamata Misram Punas Charvita Charvana. And because they think that sense gratification is the goal and substance of life, it is the means of happiness, and this is all there is in life. Nothing more to life than this. So for such people, the mati to Krishna does not develop. Therefore, we also know from Bhagavad Gita, Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam, Ayapalakya Chetasam, Sayatmika Bhakti, Samadho Bhakti. So one whose mind is too absorbed in opulence and sense enjoyment, the resolute determination for rendering devotional service to Krishna does not arise, cannot arise. Even if that person does some devotional service, it will be casual, it will be occasional, but it cannot be done in a consistent, steady way with resolute determination. That is called vyavasayatmika buddhi. So that buddhi which is strict, which is fixed, that I want to do this, and I will do it at any cost, that is vyavasayatmika buddhi. So therefore that resolute determination cannot come. So Matirna Krishna Parata Satova, that is the purport. So this Krishna Mati is the most valuable thing in life. How to get that Krishna Mati? That Krishna Mati can come only in the association of devotees. Because you can get something only from where it is available. If you want to buy some hardware materials and electrical thing, plumbing thing, you will go to a hardware shop. You will not go to a cloth shop. If you want some groceries, you will not go to the electrical shop. You will go to a suitable shop. So whatever you want, you have to know where you can get it. First of all, you have to be clear what you want. And what you want must be the right thing. You can want anything, but it should be the right thing, the best thing, that which is really beneficial for us. And then we should know, where will I find it? Where is it available? So similarly, Krishna Bhakti Rasamrita Kriyatam Gadi Uto Vilabhyate Tatra Laulyam Apimulyamekalam Janma Koti Supridai Nalabhyate. So if you want Krishna Bhakti Ras, which is what we all should be seeking, we should be very clear that we want that Krishna Bhakti, the nectar of Krishna Bhakti. Bhagavatam Mati, again the word Mati comes here. If you really want that Mati, that intelligence, that consciousness of the nectar of serving Krishna, if you really want it, buy it. Immediately buy it. Kriyatam Yadi. Kriyatam means you buy it. Yadi Kutam Vilabhyate. Wherever it is available in any shop, any place, you just go and buy it wherever it is available. So what is the price then? Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Ekalam. It has only one price, not in rupees, not in dollars, not in property, but in Laulyam. Laulyam means the greed, lalasa. That intense longing and that strong greed to obtain it. The difference between Krishna consciousness and material consciousness is, it is only that our affinities and tendencies are redirected towards Krishna. That's all. That's the only difference. You have greed for money, direct towards greed for Krishna. You have greed for music, diverted towards music for Krishna. You have desire to eat delicious foodstuffs, is connected to Krishna and eat Krishna prasada. In this way, whatever tendencies we have, whatever desires we have, if we dovetail it with Krishna, then it becomes Krishna consciousness. This is the only difference between material and Krishna consciousness. Because we are all conscious. Srila Prabhupada said one time, there are two most important words in our dictionary are Krishna and consciousness. He didn't say Krishna and money, or money and consciousness. So we are all conscious. Even the materialistic people are conscious, but they are conscious of matter, of materialistic things. But we are required to be conscious of Krishna and things related to Krishna. consciousness of Krishna is the difference. So we engage our mind, engage our senses, engage everything in Krishna's service. And that is the perfection. So you buy it wherever it is available. Kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate. And tatra laulyam api mulyam ekaram. So that greed is the only price you need to pay for it. Anyone knows what other ways you can buy Shraddha? You know that song. Which song? Shraddha Maliye Krishna Se Hate Vikai. In that Namahatta, that Hatta means a shop or a marketplace. Nityananda Prabhu has opened a marketplace of the holy name, Namahatta. Generally we use Namahatta for our preaching centers. And many devotees don't know what it means. Namahatta. We just casually use the word Namahatta. I'm going to the Namahatta. Some people think it is a hut. Some people think it is a hat. Hatta refers to a bazaar, marketplace. Shraddha Mulye. So it is being sold by Nityananda Prabhu. And what is the price? Shraddha. You have to have a strong faith. So that faith comes from faith. It's a very important principle of Bhakti. Faith can only come from faith. Because this faith is not ordinary faith. This faith is transcendental faith. Faith in Krishna and in the process of devotional service is not like the ordinary faith of this world. So when we associate with those who have faith, we will get faith. And then we will get the qualification to buy Krishna. So Kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate janma koti sukrite na labhyate. Even if we do all sorts of punya, pious activity, helping the poor, healing the sick, and so many such things, we will not be able to obtain that Krishna prema. Krishna prema, love of Godhead, cannot come by mundane pious activities. It can only come from Bhakti. Again, a very important point. Bhakti can come only from Bhakti and from no other source. So therefore, if you want Bhakti, you have to go where Bhakti is available. And it's available in Rasamrita. What is his address here? 1? Rasamrita is enough. So come here, Rasamrita, it is available here. But you have to have the purchasing power. Purchasing power means you have to have that Shraddha. You have to have that greed. I want it very much. Then it will come. So we want to build a society of people who have Krishnamati. We don't want to build a society of those who want to be Grihamati or Grihavratas. So because of being Grihavratana, we want to be totally absorbed in the world. But Krishnamati can live in the world but be absorbed in Krishna. So therefore, Manda Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya hi Upadvrata, Manda Bhagya. Bhagya, the fortune, very poor, very slow, very unfortunate, everybody. How many of you at some point, be honest, okay? How many of you at some point have gone to check your horoscope or the horoscope of somebody near and dear to you at the time of some critical decision or some problem? Yes. And how many of you have been told, oh, there is Sarpa dosh, there is Pitra dosh, there is Rahu, there is Shani dosh, there is Kasha, there is this, that. How many have been told? Everybody. Everybody has some dosh. This is Manda Bhagya. Bhagya hi nahi hai. No Bhagya in this age. everybody is unfortunate. Because the horoscope is also such a nature that it is full of faults. Because Kali Yuga is full of faults. So just like in Kali Yuga, which is full of faults, and there is only one good quality, that is Krishna's name, Kirtan. Similarly, in our Patrika, in our horoscope also, Janma Kundali, you will find so many faults. So if you want to look into it, there is Mangal, there is Shani Dosh, Rahu Dosh, only one good quality. You have aptitude for Krishna. That is the saving grace. Otherwise everything else is a disgrace. So in this age, people are so unfortunate, nothing is working out. Obstacles in everything we do. Whatever you want to do, 100 obstacles come in the picture. Out of the blue, something comes up. Our plans don't materialize, our desires don't get fulfilled. We get so frustrated at times. We have so many plans to do something, this, that, something comes up and blocks it. Unfortunate. And because of all these things, we are forever disturbed. Very disturbed. You ask somebody also, how are you? Okay, going on. Yes? Chalana padta hai. You have to manage. Life is like this. You can't tell something. This is how the is. So in this age, what qualifications do we have? Nothing. But the paradox, as I said, the contradiction, which is a very beautiful contradiction, is that Krishna sees that the least qualified people in the worst age should get my maximum mercy. So he comes in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gives that gift which was not even available for residents in Satyuga. In the whole Bhagavatam, if you see, all the great devotees, except the 10th canto, till you come to Vrindavan, and apart from assorted references to Vrindavan in the first canto and third canto, here and there, all the great devotees, they attained Vaikuntha, but they did not attain Goloka Vrindavan. Can you name some of the great devotees up to the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam? Name some. Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, somebody mentioned Vritrasur, Vidur, Bharat Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. Name any other devotees. Where did they go? Vaikuntha. They reached the spiritual world. Undoubtedly they are pure devotees. They are exalted souls, and their lotus feet are worshipable for all of us. But at the same time, the destination they received, as exalted as it is, still not the most exalted destination that is possible. Because there is another destination possible that is higher even than the Vaikuntha planets, and that is Goloka Vrindavan. What is the difference between Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavan? Both are in the spiritual world, correct? So what is the difference? Can anyone say? Anyone raise their hand and say the difference between Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavan? Yes. Vaikuntha is an Aishwarya Bhav, and Vrindavan is in Madhurya Bhav. Okay. So can you explain what this Aishwarya Bhav means? So it's a very good point. Vaikuntha is characterized by Aishwarya Bhava, and Vrindavan is characterized by Madhurya Bhava. Very correct. So what is the meaning of this Aishwarya Bhava?
The Lord is prominently worshipped in awe and reverence.
The Lord is prominently worshipped in awe and reverence. What does that mean?
Dasya.
Dasya. Something more? So what does it imply in terms of the relationship between the devotee and the Lord? Yes.
Devotees are aware of God's supremacy.
Devotees are aware of God's supremacy. So are they not aware in Vrindavan?
It's covered.
Sometimes they are aware, sometimes they are not aware. But there are many shlokas in 10th canto where it is said that the Gopas and the Gopis were aware of the Godhood of Krishna. That Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, they knew. Can anyone use any shloka? That shows that the residents of Vrindavan knew that Krishna was God. Very nice. From where? Gopi Geet. Very nice. Where else? Anyone more? That is demigods. They pray to Krishna in the home. But Brajvasis, Yogeshware Hiti Vichintyam Agada Bodhai. The gopis, they were praying, Ahushite Marinam Padarabindam. Yogeshware Hiti Vichintyam Agada Bodhai. Sansara Kopapati Pranavalandam. So they were saying, we are all fallen, simply ordinary village ladies, gopis. What do we know of philosophy and tapasya and all of this? So all we want is that you as a Supreme Lord, that your lotus feet should forever awaken in our hearts. Those lotus feet which are very difficult even for great yogis and jnanis, great philosophers to obtain. And we want those lotus feet to be awakened in our hearts always. So, he said that in Vrindavan, Aishwarya Bhava means there is spirit of awe and reverence, or rather Vaikuntha. There is a mood of awe and reverence, and that means that there is awareness of Krishna being God. Yes, somebody said. So, principally that is true. So, what does that imply? What does it mean? Okay, they are aware of Vishnu or Narayana being God. So what does it mean in terms of that relationship? What is the purport of this awe and reverence? That they worship with awe and reverence.
The mood is of servant and master.
The mood of servant and master, that is also there in Goloka, is there. Servitude is not everywhere. But yes, something more.
Intimacy is relatively lesser.
Intimacy is lesser. Why?
I am Krishna. That's what they think in Vaikuntha. In Golokanda, they think Krishna is mine.
Okay, fine. That is an instance of the intimacy. So the point of intimacy is very correct. You see, the moment you see that I am the servant, this is my Lord, and He is God. So there is that sense of awe. That sense of awe immediately puts a distance between you and the worshipable object. Now you are very careful that you cannot just be whimsical, you cannot be frivolous. Just like if there is a very worshipable person, very exalted person who comes in our midst, now suddenly we will be a little following. Isn't it? We will be at our best behavior. Otherwise, when we are with our friends, we will be backslapping and Haribol, all of that. Suddenly someone comes and with us. Yes? So, there is a distance that suddenly comes up when we see this is a worshipable personality, God, and I am His eternal servant. There is love. Undoubtedly there is pure love. Otherwise there is no question of going to Vaikuntha. But in that love, there is some distance. There is some lack of intimacy. Intimacy is there, but in a distant way, relatively speaking. Whereas in Vrindavan, there is no such inhibition, no such prohibition, no such impediment, no such consciousness that Krishna is God. And the important part is, this is important, even when they know that Krishna is God, it doesn't matter. They don't care. Cowboy boys will tell Krishna, you may be God, you may be anything. Madhumangal will tell, I am a Brahmin, you have to get my blessings. If you don't get my blessings, you won't be able to kill the demons next time. You are killing the demons because of my blessings as a Brahmana. So they can talk to Krishna like that. You may be God, you may be anything. But if you leave our play now and you go back, because Mother Yashoda is calling you, we will not take you for playing next time. So even though they know that Krishna is God, sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. When they don't know, it is covered over by Yoga. To nourish that sweetness of the rasa of Vrindavan. So, even when they know, it doesn't really matter for them because it does not bring a distance between them and Krishna. In fact, whenever Krishna displays his opulences in Vrindavan, whenever he demonstrates superhuman, supernatural powers, instead of getting phased and instead of getting awestruck, oh, this is Krishna, their love for him becomes sweeter. As opposed to Mathura, when Mother Devaki and Vasudeva saw Krishna and Balaram killing Kamsa, Chanur, Mushtik and all their fellow criminals. At that time when Krishna and Balaram came in front of Devaki and Vasudeva, they were stunned. Oh, this is God. We made such a big offense. We thought that this is our son, these are our sons. But actually this is God. So that sweet Vatsalya Bhav, that love, that parental mood immediately withered away. And Krishna was saying, oh, what has happened? My parents are not considering me their son anymore, their child. And now they're thinking I am God, everything is spoiled. Maja kirkira ho gaya. So Krishna did not like it. So again he had Yogamaya covering, put over the eyes of Devaki and Vasudeva. And once again they began to think, oh, this is our child. And then they embraced him and they kissed him. Even Arjuna, after seeing the Virat Rupa, you all know those verses. We are not going to detail in that. But what was Krishna's mood, Arjuna's mood? Arjuna was a Sakha. He used to sit in the same bed, he used to eat the same things, they would chat together, joke together, lie down on the same bed. But when Arjuna saw the universal form at that time, suddenly his feelings of Sakhya, they vanished. And he said, oh, you are the Supreme Lord, please forgive me, Shamastamanam. Please forgive me. This will never happen in Vrindavan. It happens in Mathura, it happens in Dwarka, it happens in Vaikuntha. But in Vrindavan, whether there is knowledge of Krishna being God or not, that mood is so filled with sweetness that nothing interferes in that sweetness. Even a display of great opulence or power only nourishes that sweetness, whereas in Vaikuntha and Dwarka and Mathura, that sweetness is diminished. when Krishna displays his opulence and power. So therefore in Vrindavan, sweetness or madhurya reigns supreme. Therefore it is called Madhurya Dham. It doesn't mean that there is no Aishwarya in Vrindavan. There is definitely opulence in Vrindavan. There is more opulence than is there in any other place, even in Vaikuntha. But it is covered over by Madhurya. So it is Madhurya Pradhan. That is Vrindavan. And Vaikuntha is Aishwarya Pradhan. It doesn't mean there is no Madhurya there. But that Madhurya gets covered over by the Aishwarya. God is great. There is this beautiful book called Brihad Bhagavatamrit by Sanatana Goswami. How many of you have heard of it? Okay, how many of you have read it? So it's a very nice book worth reading. Once you have read Srila Prabhupada's books, then you can read this. It is published by UBT also. So one of the episodes we see is when the protagonist Kumar goes to, he's from Govardhan, he's in the mood of Braj, where for him Krishna is the Sakha. And he goes to Vaikuntha and he sees Narayan there and he says, oh, this is the same Govinda. And then he calls out, hey Govind, in a very familiar way. And all the other Vaikuntha Vasis say, shh, what are you saying? You can't speak like this. He's our worshipable Lord, you can't talk like this to him. But that doesn't happen in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, they will address Krishna out of affection in any way they like. So this love of Vrindavan is a very rare jewel. So great devotees from the Srimad Bhagavatam have attained to love of Narayan, of Vishnu, the four-armed form of Krishna who resides in Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual world. Whereas what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us through the Nam Sankirtan movement is access and entry into Vrindavan Dham, into Vrindavan Leela, into understanding Krishna and his associates and pastimes in Vrindavan. That Madhurya Dham, which was not available elsewhere, that is the speciality. So that beautiful contradiction is that in this age of Kali, which is the most fallen age, where people have all those disqualifications that I just mentioned from that verse of the Bhagavatam, we are fortunate enough to get that process by which we can go to Vrindavan, not just Vaikuntha. So therefore, sometimes we need to reflect on the good fortune that we have received. That comes with some understanding, some appreciation, some knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think I can speak. There is no impediment. All of you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You know, sometimes, let's say you have a 500 rupee note. Now everybody has heard me. 500 rupee note, then everybody's ears are. Correct? Hare Krishna. Okay, then we'll wait for just a minute. Hare Krishna. So if you give a child a 500 note, the child cannot understand its importance. The child will think it's another piece of paper, just tear it up. And he'll be saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's tearing up the note. So similarly, those who are not aware of what this movement is about may think it to be an ordinary thing, but it is not. So let us reflect briefly on what it is that we are fortunate enough to receive. How fortunate we are is very inconceivable. So we should not be like that child who, not realizing the value of that 500 rupee note, tears it up, thinking it to be just another toy or some other piece of paper. Let us also not consider this process of Krishna consciousness as taught to us by Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be an ordinary process. It is not ordinary dharma. It is parodharma. It is kevala dharma. It is the supreme dharma. Supreme not only in terms of being bhakti, which is superior to karma, jnana, yoga, etc., but even in the realm of bhakti, it is the topmost because it is even beyond the bhakti of Vaikuntha. That is what we are fortunate enough to receive. So, when we come here to the temple, we are coming to an embassy or the consulate, where we are getting the qualifications to get the visa to go there. So once you come regularly, attend the programs, now you're well on the way. Remember, getting this visa is a lifetime of cultivation. This visa. Even to get visa to America and other people wait for years and years. Right? They stand in line and they do so many things to get a visa somehow or the other. And despite repeated attempts, sometimes they don't get it also. So when the visa to a country like this in the world is so difficult, why should we think that the visa to Goloka Vrindavan is going to be so easy? Actually, it is easy, but because we are not aware, we take it for granted. And therefore it becomes difficult. We make it difficult. So let us take this movement very seriously, this process. You are all also very fortunate that you have a nice center come up here in Vishal Nagar, and so many devotees are staying here. And you have regular programs, weekly, daily, and festivals as well. Very nice setup. I hope and pray that this center will grow from strength to strength. And you'll eventually have a wonderful place coming up here, which will be your own, at some place, somewhere. And all of you can build a very, very nice community of devotees here and do wonderful things for yourselves and for the whole society around you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Sometimes I say that we are like politicians. We give a mic and we don't stop speaking. So I had no idea we were going to speak. But when Kanai Thakur Prabhu asked me to speak, I said, okay, I'm not refused. So if you want to blame anybody for the long lecture, you have to blame him now. Don't blame me. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, so I have to go to another place now. We'll ask any questions, just a few. So how many of you are headed for Goloka Vrindavan? How many of you want to be headed for Goloka Vrindavan? not trying to show Vaikuntha and poor light as some inferior place. It's the spiritual world. Only pure devotees can go there. So let us not think that I am offending Vaikuntha Loka. We are just speaking in comparative terms between Vaikuntha Loka and Vrindavan. Any questions? Yes. Mike?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, I just want to check my understanding. You said that when you go to Vrindavan, it's the Madhura is Pradhan. The Pradhan ras over there, right? So, but when we are praying right now, we are always praying in the mood of Rasamrita, right? So then, there are many rasas that is going on in Vrindavan, like Vatsalya, Sakya. So, how do we know what is our swarup? We are praying in the das form, but then how is our swarup revealed?
That will be revealed at the right time. When Krishna thinks we are ready, he will reveal at that time. We need not worry about this now. We should worry about being Das Anudas, as you rightly said. That is our position right now. We should just continue doing that for as long as it takes for Krishna to take us back to Goloka Vrindavan. And even in Goloka Vrindavan, it is not that we will give up this mood of Das Anudas. Like the Mayavadis imagine that they will do various types of spiritual activities, and once they attain liberation and merge, then they become God and they don't need to do all that anymore. But Bhakti is not like that. So we cultivate the spirit of being servant of the servant. Gopi Bharturu, Padakamalyor, Dasa Anudas. That is an eternal state of mind. It is not only till we reach Goloka Vrindavan. So, even in Vrindavan, even though there are many rasas, the underlying component or foundation of each is the spirit of service. All the rasas are founded upon the platform of service to Krishna. And from Dasya to Sakhya to Vatsalya to Madhurya, this just increases. The number of qualities increases. So, in Dasya, you have the quality of service. The distinction between Dasyaras and Shantaras is that in Shantaras there is only a passive awareness of the greatness of God and the magnificence of His qualities. But the sense of service is not developed. So therefore, Acharyas sometimes don't include the Shantaras in Vrindavan. Sometimes they do, but mostly they don't. Because in Dasya, the spirit of service is most prominent. Then when you go to Sakhya, added to the spirit of service is the feeling of equality. Sakhya means friend. So you want to serve Krishna, but as a friend. So Krishna is your friend. It is a spirit of equality. In Vatsalya, there is a feeling of superiority, not just equality. Krishna is my child. If I don't look after him, he will come to harm. Like that. So you keep on adding one quality. And then you come to Madhurya. So that one quality which all the rasas have is the spirit of service. And that spirit of service is then found in the rasas with the addition of their extra special qualities. So regarding when we will become aware of what we are in the spiritual world, that will come at its own time. Krishna will decide when he thinks it fit. Meanwhile, we don't have to worry about it. We just have to go on being Das Anudas. everything will happen at the right time. One more last question. I have to go to another place now. Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Maharaj, you spoke about Laulyam, and at our current stage of sadhaka, as we see that there is Laulyam for material things. Spiritual Laulyam appears to be a great tall order. How do we come to the consciousness of even cultivating the Laulyam, working and progressing towards that direction, and then eventually wanting to purchase it? How one comes to this position, and how can we voluntarily put ourselves in that direction?
How do you develop intense desire to make money on the stock market? For example, you will associate with those who are doing all these courses. Every time they send advertisements, unwanted things that come in to your thing. Stock market and make you a wizard in stock market, make you earn so much money. Then even if you don't have that desire to start with, by repeatedly seeing those advertisements, you start thinking, not a bad idea, let me think about it. Right? That is what marketing does. Marketing means to create a desire in you that didn't exist before also. You want some Maggi noodles or something. You never knew of noodles before. But they kept bombarding you with pictures and videos of Maggi noodles. You said, oh, I also want this. So, Laulyam also similarly, the same principle applies here. We also just keep hearing about it. We keep hearing, must be greedy, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Then you say, yeah, actually I should also be greedy for Krishna. Principle, as I said, what is diverted to material consciousness should now be adopted with Krishna. That's all. We just keep hearing, keep chanting, we keep serving, reading, and doing all the other processes of devotional service, and that grows. And of course, it's not ordinary devotional service. So we do it according to the teachings of our acharyas, and specifically Srila Prabhupada. So when you associate with those who are greedy, you become greedy also. So therefore we have to be associating with greedy people. If you go outside and tell somebody, where did you go? Somebody asks you. Or you went to an association of greedy people. So they will think that you are talking about some stock market, traders or something, diamond traders, whatever it is. But this kind of greed is different. So we also want to be greedy. This is a place for greedy people. Where we are here. But we are greedy for Krishna in Vrindavan. So we keep coming here and cultivating that mood, and it will come. Okay? All right. One last question.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Dangal Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I am from Melbourne, so I am so happy to visit our place. So, I have one question, Maharaj. See, when we hear the stories of the great devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, so, and they have gone through so much problems and difficulties and challenges. So we see it was Lord's plan, or we see that they are on that level so they can bear that level of pains for the pleasure of Lord. So there are similar things, not to that extent, but whatever comes in our life, we try to see that we are no way as compared to what they were, and we are also having our own set of miseries or problems. So at times I find difficult to understand, is it the Devik or is it the Purusha? Is there anything that I have done, or is it the results of my bad deeds, or is it that I am destined to go through these sufferings? Because my life won't set an example for others, the way it was done in Srimad Bhagavatam. But when this thing comes to us, how do I reconcile this and see what's the best for me in this?
There is no difference between destiny on one hand and what I have done before. The results of what I have done before. What is destiny? Destiny is simply the results of actions I have done in the past. So all suffering and all pleasure also comes as a result of destiny, in the sense of reactions to actions done in the past. So suffering is coming in our life, that is our doing. We cannot blame anybody for it. But when it comes in the lives of great devotees like Prahlad, the Brajavasis, the Pandavas, then we know it is not karma. For ordinary living entities, it is karma. But for these exalted souls who are associates of Krishna, they are not on the platform of karma. So for them, it is a special arrangement of Krishna to teach us ordinary souls how we should live through suffering or difficulty or in challenges. We should face them like these great souls have faced them in Krishna consciousness. So Krishna puts his great devotees into such apparent difficulty to teach the rest of the world how they should remain Krishna conscious with resolute determination despite the challenges of life. And surely no one can complain that they have been tried to put in the fire like Prahlad was being pushed into the fire. We may have difficulties, but nobody has put us under the feet of mad elephants like Prahlad had to be. We may have many difficulties, but nobody has driven us away from home into a jungle like the Pandavas were. So the tribulations and trials that were faced by the Pandavas and Prahlad and the Brajavasis was so great in comparison to what we face in ordinary life, that we should reflect. Even after going through so much of challenge, they remain Krishna conscious. They faced it with determination. In our life, we have very small problems compared to others. So we should not be always complaining. We should also face it with boldness and be Krishna conscious. Over the last 2-3 months, I've been meeting several devotees who have been sick, either some serious ailment or something like that. Several of them with cancer recovering, some are in old age, very difficult stage. And naturally they are in some degree of difficulty. So I was telling them, apart from the usual things of remembering Krishna, etc., and everything, but the one thing, one word that I would like to tell that we should all be, and that is a word that I'm sure you have heard before in Bombay and Pune. What is that word?
Bindas.
Bindas. Just be bindas. It's a slang word, but it's not a bad word, so it is very hard to have an English equivalent for that. Yes, how do you translate the word bindas into English? I don't know. What is the best word? I have not found the right words. So even when we face challenges, we should be bindas. Bindas doesn't mean we should be careless, negligent, arrogant, or forgetful of Krishna. We should do whatever is necessary to do. If it's bad health, take your medicines, go to the doctor, take your precautions, do whatever is required. But in your mind, be bindas. Depending on Krishna, you have to be brave and face the situations like the Pandavas did, like the Brajavasis did, like Prahlad did. So this is an example. The sufferings and the tribulations of great devotees is a teaching to all of us. And amongst them, like the Brajavasis, if there were a few who had risen through the lifetimes of sadhana bhakti to come to that level, and they needed some last bit of training, little bit here and there to remove whatever specks of contamination may have been there. That was also removed. And in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam also it is said that Krishna put his Brajavasis through this, the Acharyas say, for increasing the intensity of their love for Krishna. So also when we are put into challenging situations, that should increase our love for Krishna, not decrease our love for Krishna. We must utilize adversity as an opportunity for spiritual growth, not as an occasion to give up Krishna. Why has Krishna done this in my life? Rather the opposite. We should think, this is a wonderful opportunity now for me to make advancement. I came here to Pune because one girl, young girl, devotee girl, Mohini, left her body. And she has set a wonderful example for us because she has gone through a very difficult time for the last many years. And the way she was facing those challenges, even at a young age, knowing that death was around the corner, how bravely she faced it, and with what a positive spirit, and above all, in so much Krishna consciousness. So even though she was not Pandava, or she was not the Pandavas of Prahlad, or whatever, but she was just living amongst us like an ordinary girl, young girl, but she has taught us a valuable lesson. So how we can also face the tribulations in life. So they may come in our life because of our karma. But for the great devotees, like Prahlad, it comes because of Krishna's direct arrangement. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vishwanagar ISKCON Center ki jai. So, Thakur Prabhu, thank you very much for you and all the devotees for doing such nice seva here. So please continue the activities. I'm sure it will grow from strength to strength. And all of you should look after health. You're all sniffing bad throat. Viruses are all over. So take care and protect yourselves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's thank His Bhakti Swami Maharaj. I had so many meetings and so many people to meet, and again go has to go to Delhi. And further 2 days of continuous engagements are there. Right? Maharaj this time came just for some time, but we would like to request you, if please, when you come next time to Pune, or if you can especially give time for us, and we can have a nice festival here in your presence, and devotees will be blessed. Let us thank His Bhakti Swami Maharaj by once chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra softly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So I have to rush now. Okay?